Hello, hello. Welcome, Visibility V's, to the show. Welcome to the show. All right. So we're going to share my screen. I wanted to do another little recap of ChatGPT. So one of the things I find is very interesting. I actually use ChatGPT all the time now. And I use it for one specific thing. So it's good to test out and see. But I actually now use this almost like clockwork. So I'm going to give you an example of my my channel, my Empowering True Crime channel. And I posted yesterday about this. This is the Malaysia Airlines, the mysterious disappearance of the plane. It actually happened on March 8th. I think that's when Netflix released, probably on the 9-year anniversary. So Netflix released a docu-series on the Malaysia Airlines. It's gotten new press. And so I decided to do a short on that. So a couple of things on that. First off, notice what I did. I took an incident that made a lot of news, the Malaysia Airlines mysterious plane, right? Something that's gotten back into the news through the Netflix special. And what else? And it's something that's very catchy, very interesting, right? So that's a trending topic. So I ended up coming up with this unsolved mystery of MH370. How did the plane vanish without a trace? Based on typing in ChatGPT. So I said, improve YouTube headline. Something like mysterious vanishing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. Improve HEMA, and I'm going to cap it in 70 characters or less. Unraveling the mystery. What really happened to Malaysia Airlines flight M730? Wow, that's actually really good. I like that. I might change this unsolved mystery of MH370. How did the plane vanish without a trace? I actually like that. I might keep this one. I've been using ChatGPT now almost exclusively, like regularly, when I post on YouTube to create headlines, right? To improve my messaging so that it makes it more catchy so that people want to read it, right? And so on social media, remember that usually like the first 10 words, let's say, of any messaging is what's going to grab the attention of the reader. And if it's a video, of the viewer, right? And so I've been using ChatGPT to come up with a couple of headlines every single time I post on YouTube. And so this is the one I posted yesterday. Unsolved mystery of MH370. How did the plane vanish without a trace? And then I added this again today, just now. Just make sure. And I came up with ChatGPT, came up with unraveling the mystery. What really happened to Malaysia Airlines flight MH370? It's like, that's really good too. So I think I might actually change it to this one, because ideally we want to test what's working and what's not. So that's, now the other thing I did for this one is, because I wasn't that familiar with this particular topic, and you can do this yourself for your own content, is I typed in a couple of sentences about this topic. I typed it in, and we can just do it here. This is just for example purposes, but like, okay, write 3-sentence caption for the Malaysian Airlines plane disappearance March 8th. Actually, they'll know because ChatGPT gets, aggregates information. So they'll know. So write 3-sentence caption. Wow, this is actually taking longer than normal. So, and what's cool is when you're using ChatGPT is making it as specific as possible. So if I just said write a caption, I'm not really sure what, actually we'll test that. But here I said specifically 3 sentences. So they're going to give me, compact information in those 3 sentences. Let me just say, write a caption. A caption. So let's see what it comes up with. Oh, here, well, you see, this is why it's so important to be specific. Here, when I just say write a caption, it basically gives me like a headline. So that's why it's important. So I actually did this. I asked ChatGPT for a little caption, and I made that. That was part of my caption that I put in the post that I made yesterday. So ChatGPT, it has really helped. It's helped me. I feel like I know I'm a good writer and I have good messaging, but ChatGPT has really helped me fine tune the messaging. And so I think this is a really great tool. So this is another one I did. I just posted this morning. New CCT video before mysterious disappearance. And it was good. I can always change that and I can always test it, right? This one has it's actually gotten more views, but it's already gotten a pretty decent amount of views. But if I didn't, like in the case of the one that I just showed you of the plane, that one didn't get that many views. I was actually surprised. It's gotten over 100 views. Well, sorry, not that that's not a lot, but compared to the content that I normally create, that's on the low side. So I can test, right? You can test the messaging when something isn't really being relayed that well, or you're not getting the message across. So that's one way that you can use ChatGPT is to improve the headlines, improve the messaging up front, and then improve the messaging after you've already posted. And to test that point, I actually changed the headline on this post, and within the hour, it went from 100 views to almost 2,000 views. So in this case, it definitely helped to tweak the headline.
Can you actually change the headline?
So in the case of YouTube, yes, you can. You can change the headline. I'm going to show you real quick. So let me go into the latest post. There's a couple of ways to do it. I'm not going to go into the 2 different ways, but let's just say you'll have to go into the edit video section on YouTube. And here, this is the title. I call it headline, but here on YouTube, it's referred to as a title. And here you can change it. Now you're limited on YouTube to 100 characters.
Okay.
See here, it says 100 characters. So that's why because I include hashtags usually at the end, that's why I say when I do ChatGPT, if you noticed, I said in 70 characters or less.
Cool.
Because I'm always going to include little hashtags at the end that's going to help improve the visibility for the post. But yes, I can change this.
And then people keep searching because YouTube is the most used search channel on earth now, I heard, or one of the first 3. And
it's definitely at least a second. It's after Google, YouTube is a second.
And so you get searched all the time, and this is kind of evergreen material. Okay, correct. I understand it.
Yes, the reason that I created this post at all for my true crime channel is that it came out on Netflix. This is a docuseries that came out on Netflix. And so what I said is the reason I even created content on this is because it was already a big news story. It got back in the news because now it's on Netflix. And so that makes it a trending topic. And it's just intriguing, right? It's mysterious. It's intriguing. It's something that will probably always be an interesting story. So much so that this is the first time this has ever happened to me. YouTube added this like encyclopedia thing here about from Encyclopedia Britannica. I have never that's never happened to me on my content. So it's such a big news story that they had to they felt the need to include a whole piece there on because I guess what it says, it's something about they don't want people to spread misinformation. I didn't spread any misinformation on mine, but I think that they say, okay, well, let's just be careful, right? So my point was saying that
if they don't put it there, some people will maybe copy and paste your stuff in a very inappropriate fashion because it's hot. It's kind of people like to feel this mystery thing, and then they hop on the bandwagon, and then it's not your level, and they cut them out if they don't go with the proper information.
Correct. Yes. That's actually a really good point. And I'm going to just share. I mean, I love that I'm creating this like side channel because there's so many relevant things that come up from it, even though this is obviously not a coaching channel, but the stuff that comes up is so relevant. This is something that I posted. This is CCTV video footage that I got from another channel. And I was so concerned. I actually had to do healing on myself because basically I'm taking their content, even though I'm saying I'm making a reference to them. I was concerned of taking their content, right? But that's because I'm an ethical professional person and I want to make sure that I do it right. To your point, many people have just taken this and posted it, this exact footage, posted it like they got it from somewhere and they're kind of like the people who put it out there. I'm not like that. I'm like, I did not get this myself. This was not given to me. So a lot of people do take, not all, like this it is a minority, but there are some, I don't want to say a lot, but there are some creators who do take people's information and repurpose it. So there's a train of thought with YouTube trainers, people who train people to create on YouTube, that you want to start with the catchy headline. In fact, maybe I should call it catchy of the topic before you even create the video. So let's just brainstorm some ideas. What's something you could talk about that you think would be a good topic for your audience?
As I don't like to talk too much about pain points, I had an auxiliary method, which is what not to do in coaching.
So like tips of what not to do in coaching?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm using ChatGPT. What I wrote here is, can you see it? It says catchy headline in 70 characters or less, just because I know we have to keep it tight. Tips for what not to do in coaching.
Maybe, coaching catastrophes. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, it says we're experiencing exceptionally high demand. Okay, well, there we go. Avoid these. Okay, avoid these top mistakes. Really. Coaching catastrophes. It's okay. What I might want to recommend is maybe saying like 5 coaching catastrophes.
Yeah,
like add a number.
5 coaching success hurdles.
Something like if you add a number there, then it's a little more tangible, right?
Yeah. How do you like 5 coaching success hurdles?
5 coaching success hurdles. There's a little confusion there because it's like, is it success or is it a hurdle? So you see,
success, maybe 5 hurdles to coaching success.
Yeah. What was it? Let me say, improve headline in 70 characters or less. So the idea here, just so that you know, is that you want to get the topic, the headline, And then you create the content. So you do the video or whatever it is that you're creating.
Yeah.
Because you're going to insert those keywords into the video. So in this case, let's say we did coaching catastrophes. You definitely would want to say mistakes, and you definitely want to say coaching in your video, right? So what you just said right now, improve headline in 70 characters or less. You said 5 hurdles to, did I get this right? To coaching success?
Yeah. One doesn't know whether it's the coach or the coachee, but let's see what the little ChatGPT is doing with it.
Let's see what they say. Overcoming obstacles, 5 keys to coaching triumph. I don't like triumph here, but I do like overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, that's nice. 5 keys to coaching successfully.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I like coaching successfully. Yeah.
Can we take that and ask him to write the 5 keys?
Yes. Let's see. Write the 5 keys to coaching
successfully.
Right. I don't know. Right. 5 keys to coaching. Here are 5 keys.
Yeah, cool. This is coming. I like it that it's writing so fast.
Right. That's why when it was taking a little time earlier, I was like, what's happening? But now I realize it's probably that there's a lot of people on there right now. And so it might, it might have high volume.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, great. So let's say you end up using 5 keys to coaching successfully in your video, right? Then it's good to know this in advance. That's why I like using ChatGPT for the headlines, because you know it in advance before you create your copy or before you create your content. And that way, once again, you include those keywords in your content. Now, the beauty of YouTube and some of these other platforms where you can edit, right? As an aside, on TikTok, you can't currently edit the caption, unfortunately. One thing I wanted to share, what's really cool about YouTube is the evergreen nature of it.
Yeah. And
so, because the other ones, TikTok and Instagram in particular, it's very it's more recent. Recency is favored over long term, right? But here there's something I did 11 years ago. This is before my channel was what it was today. But there's this thing called masterpiece marketing. And look at me, this was me 11 years ago. That has 2,600 views. People are still looking at it. You know, on YouTube, you still have people who are searching for those topics, you know? And so that's what's really nice about YouTube is that you have, let's see, these are some of my more popular ones. You have people search. It's evergreen, meaning that people are just looking for stuff from, you know, that could be 10 years old. And sometimes on your home, like here, some of the things that pop up are from like 11 years ago. So that's what I like about YouTube is that if as an educator, I think it's as an educator or entertainer, it keeps content around circulating. And so, but like TikTok, you're not going to have rarely do people reference something from 2 years ago. The same thing on Instagram. But on YouTube, you could reference something from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago.
Okay.
So I wanted to mention that about the headlines using like what we just did. I thought this is really, really cool. And okay, so like, look, if you decide to create like a blog, or, you know, what's really cool, I don't know if you have on LinkedIn, the article writer, you can write an article. So you can say, write article, on the, or it would basically be like a blog. So I'm just going to make it like a blog article on the 5 keys to coaching successfully. Let's see. Sure, here's a blog article. So you have this blog article popping up, and you can use that as a reference for your video. You can use it as a reference for an actual article that you write on LinkedIn. So then the last point I wanted to make about YouTube is that if you are pressed for time, and you know, some maybe like, I'm just trying to remove, and this is for anybody listening, not just you, but if you're like, oh, I hate doing video, or it takes so much time, use the go live feature. So to go live on YouTube, you go to your home screen, you're going to have your photo, and it's the little plus sign. When you click on the plus sign there, you can either upload a video, or you can go live, or you can create a post. But in this case, we would go live. And that allows you to just go live so that you don't have to worry about editing the videos. Because I know that is a big time saver if you don't have to edit the video. You just go live and you just say, it's live, nobody cares that it's, maybe it's not as polished if I were to create a video. And it it reduces the amount of time that you take to actually do the videos. So just keep that in mind. I used to do those actually when I was doing the series, and I would do one every single week, and it lowered so much of the time that it took to do the video. So I'm a big proponent of going live. Let's just say for example purposes, let's say you do a video on the 5 keys to coaching successfully. Then next week, you do an entire video just on building trust. 3 ways to build trust. Then the next week you do, active listening skills. You know what I mean? So you can repurpose this content, and people don't, I think the number one thing people worry about, well, actually there's 2 things. People usually worry about not having enough content, or they worry about repeating the same content.
Not enoughness, or repeating and then get thrown out of the audience. That's one of the core fears of people. I don't belong. They don't like me anymore.
And so I think getting over that, because first of all, not everybody's going to see the same video, right? Like not everyone in your audience is going to see the exact same, every single video you post out. And the other thing is that if you're adding like a slight tweak in every video, there's some new nugget, or maybe a different way, or an example that you add that's a little bit different. It's always going to be new content to people. So that's something I know a lot of people worry about. For more help growing your visibility and monetizing your brand, go to alexanderfigueredo.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you.